Hello, friends. Hope you all are having a really good Saturday. Or lies. Look at me. Don't even know what day it is. It is Sunday. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. It's been a whole long day. I'm gonna try to hop on the call. So excited. Today we're going to be chatting about travel in the time of COVID. Hey, Sarah.
Hey. Hoping
Live with Disney Connections. Just gonna ping Mr. Harvin. We've got a special guest today.
Okay, let's see if it works out. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Hey,
Yay! I love this. This is so good. Fantastic. Okay, now we can move
We'll make it work.
into
So
it.
it looks like if you look on your screen, there's like a little button for a camera where you can like invite people in the different rooms. And I think you can invite, I don't know up to how many people, but you can definitely invite more than 3. So that's exciting. So it'll be our first time trying out this new method.
Yes. Very excited about it.
Yeah. So how are you guys doing? How's your week?
Great. Honestly, it's been a great week. Can't complain. Just, wrapping things up over here. I think we talked about me moving on from this job, so really excited about it. How about you, Isaiah?
this was a great weekend. I spent a lot of it just reconnecting with some friends from out of town, really just spending time with great people. And I've been needing this break, to be honest, just of the day to day. And I'm glad that I got to do so with some great people. So I'm great.
I love it. You look like you just came back from vacation. Love to
I
see
did.
it.
Yes.
That's
That's so
awesome.
nice. I need to be on that kind of energy. I feel like overall, this week has been like a lot. Like I know there's, been some stuff in the news. Terroristic people doing their terroristic nonsense. It's been heavy. There was some like good news for me. I did get a job offer. I got 2 actually. So I won't speak too much on them because I think I'm still figuring out how I feel in all of my things. But that's been exciting. This will be my first big girl job, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Let's go,
That's
Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I know
congrats.
Isaiah, you have any news on like you and the vaccine and what's going on?
Yeah, so I took the vaccine. I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine about a week ago, and it's been good. I think the side effects are pretty serious. I feel like my energy levels are a little off. I'm not waking up as early as I used to, and I think it's just a little bit different than my day to day. So I'm still like sitting through some of the side effects. Not very severe, but I'm very happy that I did it, and now that I have it, I'm able to like protect others and kind of continue on and try to get to some sense of normalcy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Did they mention like how long the side effects will kind of last?
I think it depends per person. I've heard on average a couple weeks just from friends that have had it in the past, but I'm gonna tough it out.
Well, I'm definitely ready for it because
Yeah.
summertime's coming. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Sarah, I know you maybe have talked a little bit about the boot camp, but
Yeah. I guess I haven't shared that with the community. So, as you know, I do the designs for Disney Connections and want to continue growing that skill set. So, I enrolled myself into a boot camp, UX boot camp, which starts up in the middle of April. So, just about as soon as I head off from my job and right back into school mode. So I'm excited about it. I'm really excited, and we're gonna definitely have some new tricks up our sleeves for Distant Connection. So I'm very excited.
Excited for you.
All the good things. All the good things. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Jazz.
I'm Sarah.
Yeah, and we're the co-founders of Distant Connections, and we want to thank you for joining us for our Sunday talk series, Let's Unpack, where we talk about everything creativity, life, and inspiration.
Absolutely. And as always, as we had started, just continue to make sure that this is a safe community where everybody respects each other for, who they are and everything that they bring to the table. So this should be reflected in the comments with our guests and, the topics that we decide to embark on. So definitely grab your drinks today.
Yeah, I think we all got a little beverage going on.
We do.
I know y'all got y'all big grown over there with your wine. I'm over here with some tea.
Yes. So yeah, get settled in as we celebrate week 3 of Distant Connections collaborations. This season, we're all about how culture impacts our creatives' journeys. And before we get into that, we do want to welcome our special guest, Isaiah Harvin. Ding, ding, ding,
Yes.
ding, 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 ding.
Isaiah Harvin is a season 1 collaborator, and he's a friend of ours personally, and then a friend of the talk series. But to just give like a brief, not so brief intro for him, he is a passionate seer, builder, and doer. Isaiah Harvin is a product innovator that loves to be at the intersection of design, business, and technology. Isaiah has a passion for bringing ideas to life, focusing on research, agile methodologies, people, and products. These focuses allow him to understand and gain the experience of bringing products and brands to market. Through his range of experiences, working on flagship brands in corporate settings, researching and designing in creative agencies, building for social good in the startup world, and now shaping media and culture through his role at HBO Max. Isaiah brings a unique skill set and perspective to the table. So, love to just kind of kick it off to you. You can maybe tell us a little bit more about yourself. And just, let us know all the things that we should know about the Isaiah Harvin.
Oh, no, thank you for the introduction. Super glad to be here. I'm a day one supporter of Distant Connections. I love what y'all been doing. I love what you've done for like the community, for me, and then for others that, are going through the Distant Connections season this upcoming, just in the future. But a little bit about me. I'm originally from Stafford, Virginia. I'm residing here in Richmond, Virginia for now. I'm getting ready to potentially make my move to New York City in the coming year. I love Richmond. I love VCU, where we all met, and what you all have been able to continue to do. And I'm just excited to get into this topic.
Yeah, I know. You're definitely really excited about this topic. Thanks for also sharing a little bit more about you and how you fit in with this community. Love. So before we do get into the topic, we do want to just have a quick little fun game to break the ice and have everybody, join in on the comments below too. So we're going to play a little game of this and that, this or that, right? So I can say one, and then Jazz, you can point one out, and then we'll just go from there. Sounds good?
Yeah. And this will be like rapid fire. Like, you're not going to get any time to explain yourself. You feel how you feel. You said what you said. It is what it is.
Yes. Alrighty. So real quick, morning or evenings?
Mornings.
Evening.
Mornings.
I'm by myself. Whatever. All right. Hotel or Airbnb?
Airbnb.
Hotel.
I feel like it's hard. I
Nope.
pick both. I know. I'll pick Airbnb. I'll pick hotel because I want to love the experience.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
No.
Oh, I don't need to explain myself. Sorry.
No
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
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 Road trips or plane rides?
Plane rides.
I would also choose plane rides.
Yeah, plane rides. No
Trying to get my
questions.
status up. So
All right. And then this one is like a travel one, but traveling abroad or traveling domestic?
Abroad. So
abroad.
far away.
Abroad.
Abroad all day. Love to see it. All right. Well, that was fun. That was fun. Let us know in the chat too, like anything, how y'all feeling, what y'all would choose, this or that. That was good.
Yes.
But for today's topic, I know we didn't preface the audience, but we're going to be talking about travel and travel like inspiration and just exploration in the time of COVID, and how we can explore different cultures and places in a safe way. So
Yeah.
love to kick it off to you, Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. And so this is one of the things that you might be a little controversial topic. You know, some people have strong opinions of maybe traveling within your state or not going abroad or all that. But we just wanted to share some more information and, you know, make your own decisions and based on what you feel is with your comfort zone as well. So it's something that we did talk about early on in the week. Isaiah, you actually mentioned that there are programs where maybe you can work abroad. Isn't that's something you had mentioned, right? Do you want to speak
Right.
on that?
Yeah, I'll speak on it. I think for me, in it a little bit backwards, when, you know, we've been almost a year in this, or maybe past a year of just working remotely for those that have the ability to do so. And I think throughout all of that, I've appreciated just the kind of the change of pace and change of scenery that it's all brought. I mean, it brought a new job for me, for one, but I think beyond that, it kind of got to a point where I felt like I was doing the same thing every day. You know, you get up, you work, you know, I go eat a turkey sandwich for lunch, and then you go do the same thing for the rest of the day, and, you know, rinse and repeat. And I think as great as that was, I was looking for a little bit of something different. So one thing I kept on researching into was just kind of like remote working programs. If there is a way that I get to travel abroad or just travel even domestically and have the same kind of sense of lifestyle and work while just doing it from a different place. I've been looking into a lot of programs to do that because I would love to be able to take a little bit of a plunge sometime this year and just be a digital nomad, as they say.
I love that. I love that. So did COVID kind of inspire you looking into programs like that, or was that even a thought before COVID hit?
It never would have been a thought before, I think. I mean, in previous roles, I traveled a lot, but I think to spend a longer amount of time somewhere else and to be able to do the same thing I do today, that was definitely inspired. I think through the work that y'all do with like distant connections and showing that like you can still inspire creativity even in remote settings. So that got me thinking like I can be a digital nomad. Like I can do this. Let me look at some places where I can just like go be inspired, go work and like have a good time.
I know. I think that's like a great way also to like immerse into a different culture and, you know, be able to really be there like they call it slow traveling, and I love travel videos, so I'm always watching them. And so like, you know, being somewhere for an extended stay, like a month plus, you really get to feel like you're part of the community or just get to understand like a different pace of life, which is really nice. I think I'm thinking about some slow traveling in my future too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love. Yeah, I'm curious. Is this something that you can do? Is this like I guess, how is the program set up? Is this something that you do with the job that you already have, or would this be a completely different job?
Yeah. The one specific program I was looking at is called Remote Year. And that is a program where you pay, I think, a flat fee for like transportation to and from an airport, for your accommodations, and then some aspect of like cultural immersion, since a lot of it is abroad. And the program that I was looking at would cover all of that, and you would just be able to do the same job you do today. So that's one of the requirements. Like you have to have a job, and you have to be able to have approval or some sort of permission to do that job just in a different place. So those are the two big things. And then otherwise, you really just go and you immerse yourself in whatever type of program that brings. I was looking at ones in Mexico, others in like Guatemala, Colombia. So just something to like still get me to learn a little bit and to have some fun and really to meet some new people in a safe environment.
Yeah, and that's like exciting too because I've personally been able to study abroad, but you always think about like, you know, other opportunities and options that you have to be abroad and just like continue to live your life as you are, like with working and being able to work. And so like that's really good just to even know that that's an option. I'm curious, maybe some of the research or like the findings that you've had on specifically like in the time of COVID, like it's a pandemic. A lot of countries aren't even allowing Americans to travel there. And so is that something that you feel like is, or I guess what has been your way around that, or like thinking of ways to still be able to like, you know, travel abroad and be abroad, work abroad, but like I can be safe, like I'm even allowed to be here.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. I found myself when I was first finding inspiration to just go abroad or to travel, I found myself looking at a lot of FAQ pages. Something that I don't normally feel like I have to do, but in this kind of time, I felt like it was important to understand like what type of situation can I get myself into in regards to travel, and then what type of precautions are those programs taking to make sure that I'm safe and I'm keeping others safe. So it has been a lot of like extra due diligence as I'm going through, as I'm looking at maybe this program will be it for me, or if I do this program by myself, these are the things that I need to account for per state, per country. So it's just, I think it's a lot of extra time, but a lot of well spent time making sure that I'm protecting others and that I'm still being safe while doing what's good for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, you know, specifically, Mexico has been a country that's opened its borders to everyone in the world. So that's been a pretty, I would say, safe hub for those who are traveling, but in a distant way, because a lot of the places, you know, food-wise or even recreational-wise, is outdoors, and that's one of the CDC guidelines is, you know, make sure there's enough air ventilation and room between people, which is really
Yeah.
good. But oh, I love that. I'm really excited about our travel plans too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know a
we're
lot of ours that we've talked about are probably more so for leisure than they are for work. I'm curious, has there been any like guilty feelings in planning these trips, or any like I probably shouldn't be like even considering um, traveling or even considering this as an option? Like, what has been your kind of like rationale internally with what's going on in society?
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot going on in society. I know that for in regards to travel, I think those kind of questions always pop up in people's minds. I think what's been so great for me is even when I am planning those type of experiences, that I have great friends to really bounce those type of questions off of, that I'm even planning with. So it's kind of a situation of we know that as friends, you know, you're taking all the responsibility you can to keep safe, while also, you know, protecting your mental health. That's a big thing. And so I think those questions just are as important to discuss because now we're making plans to, you know, do something else that's outside of the regular day to day inside your homes. And while I think it's important to protect others and yourself, there's like a balance that we have to strike when it comes to, you know, not getting burnt out, not becoming depressed in those situations. And that's really how I've addressed it. Is just like have the conversations, do your research, and then really go from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that. How about
absolutely.
you, Sarah? Has there been any kind of thoughts or hesitations or just feelings around guilt in planning trips?
Yeah, honestly, I think you know, with I guess
And I also know it's different for you because you're like in South Carolina where things are just kind of
A little
treated
bit
very differently.
Yeah, again, it is, everyone has different comfort levels on this, so uh, always being mindful of that is really important. One thing to keep in mind is like if you're traveling by yourself, you have less variables of, what to look out for because the only thing that you have to worry about is yourself and like what you can do to stay safe. But going with a group or going with, a collective, your friends, that's another thing to put into planning is, are we all comfortable with being in tight quarters? How are we making action plans for traveling in between the country? All these kind of planning aspects is important. Like not only making sure you're safe, but the folks that you're going with are also being safe at the same time. And so it's just having that like discussion ahead of time and planning out, paths so you don't have to be in multiple Ubers during your trip. It's like small things like that that can really cut down the exposure level with other people other than who's in your group, right? So yeah, honestly, the guilt factor is pretty low right now because I have been going back from South Carolina to Virginia just about every other month. And something that I've done is like having this, I call it my little COVID kit or COVID pouch. And I keep like hand sanitizer, wipes, and like this, cleanly practices just so I feel comfortable like going back and forth to places and, taking transportation that is less with people, like trains and stuff like that. I decided not to do that anymore. So things like that. But yeah, I don't know. How about you, Jazz? What's your comfort level with it?
Yeah. So what I will say is I think I've I've been really I've made myself very busy and then I also don't drive and so I've almost made myself like just stay in the house. And I've been in the house unless I need to go like I need to have a reason specifically to leave, like if I'm going to go see someone. But I pretty much stay in the house all week, all day. And that in itself, I think has been like affecting my mental health. Like I don't feel good staying in the house. But another like offside to that is like when I do leave the house, I do feel hyper conscious. I feel almost scared. And I think I'm trying to find a way to balance that so that I can, be outside, get some fresh air, like interact with society, and still explore. Because I think there's like just the nature of exploration, walking around, seeing new things that you haven't seen. I think that's like super necessary, but still feeling safe because I think it's a little hard to feel safe. Like I wouldn't say I'm OCD, but I'm also a little bit OCD. Like I have very specific practices and ways that I like to maintain, and then I live with my family, so then I have to like, not that I have to make sure we're all maintaining those because I think for the most part we do. But those things do make me nervous. So I think there is a level of guilt of like almost not like I'm betraying myself, but that I'm like, I have to make sure that I'm like super safe because I don't want to get this and I don't want my like the people that I'm around to get the virus. But then I also still need to like explore. Yeah. So I guess maybe that might be like another, not maybe, but that's another like follow-up question. How are you guys staying mentally stimulated? How are you guys finding ways to explore safely besides just like wearing hand sanitizer and things like, or that might not even be the best question. It might just be like, what are the most recent things that you have been able to explore?
I think it's just finding small ways where you can be out in nature, maybe where it's not like a lot of people will be around you, and having some youth time, like you said, exploration is important. Well, at least for some of us, maybe it might not be a value of yours, but I think we love to explore. We're a very exploratory group. We love an adventure. So just being out in nature is really important to me. Like yesterday, I took a nice walk, just because I needed to get out the house, honestly. Like there's no rhyme or reason. I just needed to be out the house, and I thought that was the best way just to be away from people, but enjoy myself. So, yeah. How about you, Isaiah?
Yeah, I feel like it's everything you said, but I also feel like, the introvert in me loves just like being in the house. And
Hmm.
part of me like learning is through a lot of media. I think music is a big part of my life, and I like to have music to like kind of emphasize what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, and kind of like just help me through the day. And I also think just like things I find randomly on like YouTube or even like Twitter at times. I think all of those things are different outlets for different people, and they help me understand the world around me. Besides like bogging myself down in the news, so I think besides like trying to get out and exercise and get some fresh air, it's also just about like how I use what's in front of me and what's around me to understand like myself and understand the world.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point that you brought because maybe we're thinking of it as an escape, and like sometimes music or like being out in nature can be like an escape from the day-to-day like nuances or things like that. So I can definitely see that being um, something like even for myself, like putting some music on for sure.
Yeah.
And that
Oh,
also
let me
kind of,
also.
what's
Oh,
that?
I was also gonna say, like that new app Clubhouse has been really big, where I'm just able to have like random conversations with people about like the newest WandaVision episode, and it's just like I don't know anything about these people. I don't know who they are, but like there are things that all bring us together, or like commonalities in the world that make and create conversations, and I think that's always been great too.
Definitely. I early on in Clubhouse, the idea was to like kind of emulate that, in between meetings, having those conversations outside. If you're in corporate world, kind of have that downtime of getting coffee, like a coffee break or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's emulating that kind of conversation. So I think they did a really good job of that because there's so many different kind of conversations, which is awesome. So yeah. Yeah. How about you, Jazz? Anything that you feel has been maybe a way to um, get your mind off of everything going on in the world?
Yeah, I actually that's funny because that did stick out to me as well, like kind of like the motivations that we have to travel or to explore. And it could be like an escape, or it could just be like I'm looking for inspiration,
Hmm.
or I just really want to be outside. Like I want to see something very specific, like I have a plan of where I'm going. I think for me most recently it's been a looking for inspiration kind of thing. So I've explored a lot of media, and I've done a lot of like research, and that's kind of it's not necessarily been outside like actually physically exploring things. Um, but what I will say is I think a lot of the time when I am exploring things, it probably is from like an escapism kind of like point of view or purpose where I'm like literally trying to get lost, or I'm trying to like wander around to a place where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I discovered something new and this was like really, really exciting. And I do that a lot when I walk, and I'll find like a new trail and I'm like, I haven't seen this before. I'll just keep going to see what I find and just la la
Hmm.
la la because I'm not going to get that lost because I'm not like crazy, but I do want to get a little bit lost. So
Just that.
Yeah,
keep the blood
that's
pumping.
good. Get the adrenaline up. Yeah, definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
I,
I will say, like, this time, I was just thinking about, like, the amount of masks that I've also collected over time, just from, like,
mhm.
doing traveling, like, even having to do simple things like go to the grocery store. Like, I have at least, like, 15 masks just, like, all over the place. Um, I was
I
curious,
see.
like, do y'all keep a bunch just, like, on hand just in case?
I do. I
You said
have like one
masks?
Yeah.
mask. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
like I'm confused. Do I just
Like,
have a
Like,
bunch of masks?
yeah,
yeah,
do you keep them in like
yeah.
different locations because I
Oh,
definitely,
locations of your house.
Yeah.
I guess
Or just
so.
like in general. Yeah. Like I know I at
Yeah.
least have 15 uh between just like the car, the house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh.
So I have to like go into work. So I keep like some disposable ones just in case I forget one. And then I keep one in my like work bag, and then I keep a bunch just at home. I think sometimes I keep some in my car too. But yeah, they're everywhere. Oh my gosh. I can't
I
imagine.
actually don't have a bunch just everywhere. Mine are either in my bag or they're in my closet. And the reusable ones I think like we'll keep downstairs in an office so like we can get ready to like grab and
Mm.
go. But also I haven't like like I kind of said I don't be leaving the house that often. But I think that's super smart to just kind of have them in like various different places. So it's like I'm never without a mask. Always with the mask. Stay with a mask.
You never know. Yeah.
Save mask. A backup mask. All of
And the
it.
backup to the backup. Yeah.
The backup.
And speaking of, are
Yeah.
you guys double masking?
Oh no. I don't think I had a need to yet.
Yeah, we double masking.
I I've I've been inconsistent with it, I'll say. I feel like I'm not going out as much in like places of being super crowded where I need to like double mask or sometimes you just forget the extra mask. Which is why now I'm trying to spread them out a little bit more. But I'll
Mm,
work to do it. I know a lot of friends are doing it, which is great.
that is
Yeah.
good.
It
Right.
also I think might depend on the kind of mask you have. Like if it's like a disposable versus like a cloth or a fabric mask. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I couldn't I also don't have a car. So I'm like trying to think where else I could keep my masks. Like maybe at the door.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because just having one mask on is it's pretty good in South Carolina. Like I can't stress enough how many times I see people
Yeah.
no mask in sight.
Okay.
Okay. We
So
don't want to, yeah, anyways. We
I'm
keep
sorry?
moving. I said we're not going to shame anyone for not wearing a mask because that's everybody's personal choice, but we're going on based off our experiences.
Yeah. So when it comes to kind of thinking back again at travel in general, what have been some of the most exciting or craziest places that you guys have been?
During this time or in general?
During this time? I can think about it. I think for me, this isn't like that crazy, but I where I live, there's a lot of different trails and parks. And there was almost like this amphitheater looking space in one of the places. And like that was like the coolest thing that I ever found. Because I started thinking like, man, it would be great if someone did like a show here. Like this would be great. And it's literally like in the neighborhood. That was exciting.
Right. You said that was like outdoor, right? Like,
Yes, it was outdoors. It was around my neighborhood, like maybe a mile or so from where I live.
mm.
Mm.
Now I'm trying to think of what's been an interesting place I've been to.
Oh, I know. I've been to DC a couple of times. Um, I think the first time was during the protests for Black Lives Matter. I was up there. The second time was more just like visit friends. Um, and I don't know, I loved going to DC in the past. And
Mhm.
I think every time I go there, I get really excited because it had just been so long. And I feel like DC is a little bit of the happy place. Just, everybody's doing their own thing. You see everybody just has their own things going on and they're surrounded by people they love. And I just love to see that.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah,
can
it
see you
gives
I
like
love
living
some
her
in
sense of
DC one
too.
normalcy.
day.
That's nice.
Well, you're moving up to New York, but who knows? Maybe you can always make your way back.
There's a lot of happy
Yes.
places in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do.
I know there's a lot to do in New York. For me, I really have, you know what, I make pit stops on the way. So from where I'm at in South Carolina, I'm at the bottom, low country, and then I go all the way up north in like Northern Virginia. So in between there's obviously like pit stops on the way. And like one interesting place I've been to, they're known for their bacon. Oh gosh, and it's in North Carolina. Smithfield bacon. If you guys have ever had like some Smithfield bacon, I don't know. But yeah, that's made in
Yeah.
North Carolina. And they have this really big Christmas shop, so you know I had to get myself a mug in my cabinet. Yeah, that's an interesting place.
That's cute.
Mhm.
I
Hey,
know
Sarah, do me a
also,
favor.
Uh-huh.
Just bring me something back the next time you move. When you're moving up, just bring me something back.
I definitely will, and I think I know what I'll bring you.
what is it called again?
The place,
Yes.
Smithfield.
Smithfield. Is this like a bacon shop?
Oh no. The whole town is called Smithfield, and they're known for their bacon. Like,
Oh, so you can
yeah,
just
yeah.
go anywhere in Smithfield.
Yeah. So I do a pit stop because they have this really big outlet, and I feel like it's just, you get your gas. I got my Panera. It's just kind of like easy. I know where it is. It's right off the 95, so simple enough. But they have a Christmas shop. It's like really big, and there's sort of like outdoor and indoor, and kind of like if you're thinking about like a greenhouse, almost like that, where the windows are all like clear. It's really pretty, honestly. If you like Christmas stuff, I think
Is
it's.
it open all year round?
I think so. But I went during Christmas time, and you see it off of 95 too. So that's probably why I was like, ooh, get myself something or get my family. I didn't get them anything because honestly, they have enough Christmas stuff. I just got a mug. But yeah, that was an interesting place.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I was also gonna mention, for one of our friends' birthdays, we went to like a candle bar, which is kind of similar to like a paint and sip, but you can make candles, and like that was a really nice kind of experience that you get to do. I think the place is called Paddle Wax or Paddle Bar or something.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you're right.
maybe
Patty wax.
Patty Wax. Patty Wax Candle Bar. I think that's what it was. But I think those are all really great ways to like just continue to explore and try new things, because all of these places that I've mentioned, like, or at least the candle bar, and a couple of the places that we've talked about, they've been kind of just ways that we've had to do in this time to be safe and to still kind of live, because no one wants to feel like they're not living anymore. And that just travel in general, I think, really makes you realize we're all a lot more similar than we think, and there's a lot more inspiration out there than just what's in our heads. And so I always encourage that. I always promote that. Definitely be safe. But travel is really like a beautiful experience. Whether you need to escape, whether you need to get inspired, or whether you're like looking for something very specific, very particular.
I just thought of something else that doesn't include like travel, but has that same experience of something new and something like exciting. I think it's something we're doing here at Distant Connections, collaborations. I think that like something gave a lot of people inspiration, or I love hearing stories where some of our collaborators shared that, oh, this was just what I needed to get that creative boost of energy, and then continue on doing other kind of projects that just was inspired by that collaboration, or meeting a new friend. That's another thing of what travel kind of brings you, like meeting new people, connections. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? That's a
And
safe
you
way.
almost get like a small window into like their world. So it's like, it's not that you're really like physically traveling, but it's like you almost get a little virtual, like, oh, I got to experience something new.
Yeah.
That was fun. Got to explore
Yeah.
that new person, that new experience. So
Yeah. Different parts of the U.S. and outside the U.S. as well. So it's really an amazing community. Thanks all for joining too. I know people are coming in and out. So we want to say hey. Hey, Johanna, Sam,
thanks to the friends.
Wow, Kofi. Awesome.
Before we get going, we'd love to let our guests plug something, whatever you want to plug, Isaiah. Let us know what's happening in the life of the world.
You know, my world is very same old, same old. I feel like I'm always one to have a lot going on, but the one thing I did want to plug was really what's happening in this month. I wanted to wish all the ladies that are here today, that are watching in the future, just a happy Women's History Month. You all do so much for society today, and I think that this is just the perfect occasion and perfect thing to plug today. So just wanted to say happy Women's History Month.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. And yes, happy Women's History Month to all the ladies. Johanna says all the boss
Love,
babes.
love. Yes,
All
indeed.
things. Very good. Well, thank you for joining us, Isaiah. It was so good. And I love that now we can, have multiple people on an Instagram live. So maybe you'll hop on another time. Who knows?
I know.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do like a 4. We'll do like a 4. See how that looks.
Yeah, thanks for
Next
having
time
me.
we'll
I like that.
Of
Of
course,
course.
we appreciate you so much. And we're going to continue the conversation as well on Clubhouse. So join us there as we just kind of talk a little bit more about our travel experiences and even before, and maybe how that's the differences that we've seen. But we'd love to continue the conversation with you guys, which will all join in. So we'll hope to see you there.
Yes. And if you need a invite, please DM us and we will be happy to give you an invite. So let us know. Alrighty. Been
Much
great, y'all. We'll talk in about 15 minutes.
Bye.